Okay, to change the sensor bypass valve, start by removing the bag housing on the machine. Go ahead and remove the power head cover. To do that, there's going to be 2 screws on the bottom of the machine. Go ahead and take those off. Make sure you keep track of these screws nicely with a nice little dish. Lean the swivel neck back and just pull off. Okay, go ahead and remove the swivel neck support, or the bag housing support. This guy right here. There's then going to be 4 screws on the motor cover that you're going to remove. There goes the motor cover. And recline the swivel neck back, and then you're going to remove the ground prongs right there. Undo this red ribbon cable. Unguide him through there. Then back here, you've got the power cables. Okay, go ahead and grab yourself a pair of needle nose pliers. Grab right in the middle, right there. Just pull up. Try not to break anything. Now after you've gotten all the cables disconnected, go ahead and pull the motor up. You can just set it right in there. Once the cables are all disconnected, you're going to pull this ground cable there. You're going to see 2 screws right here. Go ahead and remove those. And make sure you get that screw out and do that. Now there's another screw right here on the swivel neck. You're going to need to unscrew that guy. And there's a screw back here on the circuit board. Make sure you pull that guy off and also put him in the tray. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take a flathead screwdriver, and on the right side of the swivel neck, you're going to just push it in there and pry up just a little bit, and you'll see that there's a tab right there that shows up. That way you can keep track of everything. Back here on this power supply board, you're going to see the ribbon cable and then this little white cable with red stuff. Go ahead and unplug this guy. Unroute him through there. And then go ahead and unplug these 2 power cables. Works best if you have a pair of pliers. You can just pop these guys off. And then there you go. Okay, now that you've got the swivel neck removed, go ahead and just pull this plate off here. You unroute all these wires, pull that through. Then down here you're going to have this black ring. Go ahead and pull that up. And then right here, this is your bypass valve. This is the part that you are replacing. It just pops out right there. Just go ahead and pull up on it, throw it in the garbage. Take your new one. Install the bypass valve. There's a little notch right here. Make sure those 2 red wires go through it. And then run your black ring through all these cables. And then just reinstall. And once you get it fitted correctly, it should just slide into place with no issues. Okay, now that the bypass valve is installed, take your swivel neck side pieces and go ahead and install that. Now there is going to be these guys right here. You're going to take your power cables. Let's see, let's get this all situated. There's these little notches right here that you're going to have to route these through. Okay. Go ahead and get your ground cable, and there you go. Good to go. And of course you can rewind the video so that you can go back and see exactly how it was before we took it apart, just so you can get an exact wire routing. Okay, go ahead and reinstall the swivel neck. Pull the yellow foot pedal back. Make sure that this is out of the way. You do not want to pinch that. So make sure you got plenty of room to work. Get everything lined up. And then, okay, now that your swivel neck is in position, go ahead and just push down. You should hear a little snap or click as it is in position. Now I'm going to take your power supply board. This red cable right here is going to get routed through this little hole right here. Make sure you get that, and it's going to just plug right in to this white connection spot. Now that that's installed, you can go ahead and just slide the power supply board into position. Okay, now that you have the power supply board installed correctly and the swivel neck put back in place, grab your screw, put it back right there into where the swivel neck is, screw him into place, nice and snug, don't over tighten it. And then bend the swivel neck back, pull your height adjustment spring back, that'll hold it in place. And just reinstall the cover over it. It should be nice and snug. Let's see. And then we're going to take your screws and install both of those screws right there. Now that you have the two screws and the swivel neck installed back in place, go ahead and grab the motor, make sure the wires are coming off of that side. There's a little spring in here that you're going to have to push back as you install the motor. It's fairly simple, but you want to make sure that you get it nice and snug. This seal should be in line with the swivel neck side bearings. Then, once you are confident that it's nice and snug, go ahead and put the belt on. You can do that by just walking it on. Now that you've got pretty much everything put back together, you got the motor back in position, now it's time to rewire up the machine. Make sure your ground cable right here is coming, and it's going to go right there. And then before you do anything else, take the other grounds, route them along the original path, take them under here, plug those guys in, and you can put them there. Good to go. And now you can take the power cords and the power wires and reinstall those right there. So back here, this is where the power cables are going to get installed. Now you need to run your ribbon cable up here. Into the channel and back onto the circuit board. Now it is time to install the motor cover. First things and foremost, make sure that this black cable housing right there is pushed down into that slot. You do not want to pinch the cables. And just set the motor cover right over the original screw holes. Make sure those are all lined up correctly. If you need to, just check and make sure the screws are going to go into the holes. Just give those a nice tightening. Do not over tighten these screws, as you will break the motor cover, and then that will be another repair that you will have to make. Now you need to reinstall the support and spring. Make sure those get put back correctly. Put the belt cover on. If you do not have the belt cover on, you will have some major problems. Now you can go ahead, reinstall the power head cover, recline the swivel neck back, and then there's 2 tabs right here. Make sure those line up right there. Get those guys there. Once you are confident that it's secure, go ahead and flip it over. Get your screws, put them there. Get those to slide in, and then tighten those as such until they are nice and secure. Now that you've got everything installed back in, go ahead and just line up the bag housing and pop it on into place until you hear the click, the button push back, and then you are good to go test your vacuum. Now that you've got the bag housing back on the power head, you can plug it into an outlet, turn it on, and it'll turn back on. You'll be able to see that there is no longer a bag full or clog light on, and you are good to go.